She worth it. She worth it. She worth it, worth it. She worth it, worth it. She worth it. She worth it, worth it. She worth it. She worth it, worth it. She worth it, worth it. She She worth it, worth it. She worth it. She worth it, worth it. She worth it. She worth it, worth it. She worth it, worth it. She 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 worth it. She worth it, worth it.
Pretty girl.
She worth it, worth it.
Pretty girl.
She worth it.
Hey, good evening, and welcome to the Girl Talk Sunday podcast. I am your host and your favorite Sandy Best Life Jones, and I'm here to help women just like you discover the purpose and the plan for your life through honoring God, honoring your body, and owning your worth. The Girl Talk Sunday podcast is a faith-based podcast, but all who come in peace are welcome here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am absolutely delighted about tonight's show. I am delighted. I have been looking forward to meeting finally this beautiful young woman. She is going to be out here in just a moment, Jonte Michell Robinson. And I'm going to introduce her before I bring her out. But one of the reasons why I was so intrigued by her and wanted to have her on the show is because my really good friend, First Lady Melanie Brown, always reposts Jonte's videos that when she's talking about wealth building, legacy, financial management, getting out of debt and staying out of debt. Melanie would always repost her videos. And so I was watching them and I said, okay, we need a wealth specialist on the Girl Talk Sunday podcast. And so I reached out to her last year, but we weren't able to connect last year. So I tried again this year, and we were finally able to find a date that worked for both of us. And I pay attention when people are highly spoken of, especially by people that I trust and that I speak highly of. And my good friend and big sister, Melanie Brown, speaks very highly of Jonte Michell Robinson. So I knew that we had to get her on the show. I'm so thankful that she's here tonight. But before we get started with all of that, you know what I'm going to ask you. Stop playing. You already know. Please share the live. If you're watching the live stream on Facebook, go ahead and share the live for me. If you're watching on YouTube, don't just share the live, but like the video. And if you like what you hear tonight and you want to hear more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss when I upload or when I go live. So do that for me really quickly. And while we are doing that, I'm going to tell you what I'm wearing tonight. What am I wearing tonight? Let me see. Okay, earrings. Ooh, I think these earrings are, I want to say Nazmi Chantel, aka Mama Nay. What did I do with her little banner? I think, oh, here she is. Be Adorned by Nazmi Chantel. Yes, these earrings are Nazmi Chantel. Yes, and she is my jewelry lady. She's been my jewelry lady for a very, very, very long time. And she was with a different company not too long ago, but decided to branch out on her own. And so now she is Be Adorned by Nazmi Chantel. You can find her on Instagram. All of your jewelry needs will be met through Be Adorned by Nazmi Chantel. I cannot tell you how many bags of jewelry I have from Be Adorned by Nazmi Chantel. I can't even count. And I had my grandbabies over not too long ago to help me sort out all my jewelry because I bought some jewelry hangers with the pockets. I have 3 of those full of jewelry, and I still have bags of jewelry that I can't fit in those jewelry pockets. So my grandbabies came over to help me get organized. That was a couple years ago. They just flat out refused to do it again because I bought more stuff, and they're just like, you know what, we're over it. We can't help you. You got a problem, Grandma. Meemaw. Meemaw. They call me Meemaw. Meemaw got a problem. So I'm gonna have to get my stuff organized myself this time because they just will not help me. I asked them the other day and they were like, no. So I got to get my stuff organized. But between Be Adorned by Nazmi Chantel and Amazon and a little bit of Shein and a little bit of Temu and a couple of boutiques that, they're just my own private little boutiques that I found online, I have a problem, y'all. I do. I need to get it together. But my top is, I think this is Shein. And you know what? Shein is surprising me. I'm impressed. The quality of their clothing is much better now. I ordered some stuff and I was like, okay, Shein, I like what you're doing over there. I like this. This is so cute. So that's what I'm wearing tonight. I am excited about my guest tonight. I had a really great Sunday, went to church, heard a great message from my pastor, Pastor Mark Miller Sr. You might see him in the chat today. And God bless you, Pastor Robinson. Jonte's husband is in the chat. Y'all listen, he ain't playing. It ain't nobody else in this chat. Pastor Marquise Robinson is in this chat, y'all. And we might get to talk to him later. We might see if he can come up into the interview for just a couple minutes. We'll see how it goes. But Pastor Robinson is in the chat with us tonight. So let's get started. Before I bring Jonte out, I want to tell you who she is because I think you need to know. Founder of H.E.L.P University, J. Michelle Robinson is a powerhouse wealth strategist, business coach, and dynamic speaker dedicated to helping individuals and small businesses build legacy wealth. With a passion for financial education and empowerment, she created H.E.L.P University to deliver practical, faith rooted guidance on money, business, and purpose. Through transformative courses and coaching, J. Michelle equips learners to grow, to lead, and thrive financially and spiritually. She is a first lady married to Pastor Marquise Robinson, and J. Michelle Robinson is here. And I'm going to bring her out right now. Oh, there she is. You want to
Hey,
Hey, I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Jonte?
Jonte. Yes,
Jonte. Okay, let's make sure I get
yes.
the Jones.
It's French.
Jones. All right. We're going to make sure we say it right. God bless you. Thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yes, I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. I have been watching your videos for a couple years now because First Lady Melanie Brown, she reposts everything that you do. And she's the reason that I found you. And I started watching your videos, and the simple, practical way you explain wealth building could make anybody believe that they can be wealthy. And is that the case? Can anybody be wealthy?
Everybody has the opportunity to be wealthy. One of my quotes, and I keep on saying I need to get this trademarked, but one of my quotes that I say religiously when I speak is that there is no shortage of wealth or resources here in the planet Earth. The issue is access, education, and information. The wealth is here and it's available to every single person if they have the mindset to receive it.
So you said access to
Access, information, and
information and
education.
education.
That's the
Okay.
issue. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
We're going to dig deeper into that. But before we do, I'm going to say to you, Jonte, what I say to all of my guests. Tell us who you are, tell us what you do, and tell us why you do it.
So I'm Jonte. I am a wealth strategist. I am, and you've said it. I am a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a business owner. Notably, I am the CEO of Just Here to Help LLC, which is a financial services as well as a business development company. I work with individuals to create wealth. Predominantly, my preference is to work with people in the faith community because I believe that it's important that we understand what God has made available to us. But beyond that, I also work with business owners. I work with government. I work with corporations. And more recently, I can now say that I work with heads of government as it relates to financial advisement and economic development.
Wow. And when you say heads of government, what do you mean?
Yes, so just recently, I was in the mayor's office having a discussion about some strategies that can be implemented as it relates to their specific vision for economic development for that city.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you talk about generational wealth, wealth building, legacy building, how much do would you say, our spiritual beliefs inform the way we think about money?
Well, our spiritual beliefs should inform the totality of
Mhm,
how we think about money, because from the beginning of time, the way that, especially related to what I believe,
mhm,
um, God set it up for there to be wealth from the very beginning. When we go
Mhm.
all the way back to the Garden of Eden, God created a space that was full of wealth, full of resources. And then
Mhm.
he said to Adam and Eve, be fruitful, be multiply, replenish, subdue, and to dominate. So from the
Mhm.
very beginning of time, and we see it play out even as it relates to covenant, even as it relates to um the Abraham and I mean it goes on and on and on where we see God talk about wealth in the Bible. I think the challenge is in ministry and in churches, I don't know that we are necessarily teaching the practical aspect of wealth and finances. I believe that we do a really, really great job talking about tithing, talking
Mhm.
about what tithing means. We talk about giving, we talk about offerings, and we also talk about what God will do for us, but we don't necessarily show people how. I mean, when we talk about the windows of heaven opening and God pouring out blessings, well, what does that look like? What does it
Mhm.
look like to have the power to get wealth? And so, yes, our beliefs should inform
Mhm.
how we see wealth and what we believe about it. But I don't know that we do a very, very good job about really explaining and teaching the
Mhm.
practical aspects of what wealth is and how to attain it.
So would you say that tithing is just one component of wealth building, but is not the component?
I think tithing is definitely foundational to
Mhm.
wealth building. I as a believer, I don't believe that when you come into the knowledge and the revelation of tithing, I don't
Mhm.
believe if you don't tithe that you still have the same level of access to wealth as those who do tithe. I definitely
Mhm.
believe that tithing is a technology of the kingdom for us to access wealth. Now we understand that non-believers are wealthy,
Mhm.
but they also understand giving. That's something that a lot of us aren't aware of, but wealthy people who may not be believers understand the principles of giving. So while it
Mhm.
may not be tithing per se,
Mhm.
there is a universal law, let me say it like that, of
Mhm.
reciprocity that impacts the creation of wealth.
Right. So I'm wondering about your background and what made you go into finance because you wrote an ebook called Lessons I Learned from Being Broke. I think that's what it's called. I can't.
Yes,
Yeah.
what
Here it is right
being
here. Yeah,
yes,
what
what
being
being
broke
broke
taught me.
taught me. Yes, yes.
7 lessons to avoid being broke. So that tells me, and I put the link to that book in the comments for those of you that want to grab that book. That tells me that there was a time in your life when you didn't have the means that you have now
Listen.
and you had to learn. Yeah. Talk to us about that.
All right. So I often tell my story that I am from a small town called Salisbury, Maryland. And
Mhm.
one of the problems I believe as it relates to people accessing wealth comes from, because I mentioned education and information. So it
Mhm.
comes from the fact that we don't grow up, a lot of us don't grow up with conversations about money and
Right.
finances. We know absolutely nothing about money and finances. And so that's my story. My mother was a cook, my father was a taxi cab driver, and I didn't know anything about money except every single Christmas there was going to be a floor full of Christmas gifts. Our Christmas tree was over flooding with gifts. I was going to get all the Barbie things, whatever was new for Barbie, I was going to get it. My sister was going to get all the newest sneakers. And then my uncles, I have 5 uncles. And my mom was going to ensure that every single Christmas, those uncles were going to get a pack of tube socks and a flannel shirt. And so the only thing that I knew about money growing up is that you spent it. That's what you
Mhm.
did. You worked for it and you spent it. And so when I turned 18, I joined the United States Army, which is a complete blessing as it relates to someone starting out in their life for finances. When you join the armed forces, listen, you're going to get paid the 1st and the 15th of every month. You don't pay for room and board. Your food is free. So it
Mhm.
is a amazing setup to put you on solid financial footing. But because I didn't know nothing about money except to spend it, here I am in the military getting paid on the 1st and the 15th of the month. Didn't have to pay rent, didn't have to buy food, didn't have to buy no clothes because I wore a uniform everywhere I went. But here I was all over Augusta, Georgia, bouncing checks at Wet Steel, buying clothes and everywhere else. I mean, I was broke before I got paid. I'm talking about my bank
Woo.
account was negative something every time I got paid, had all kinds of overdraft charges on my account, which puts you behind before you even get at ground zero, which
Mhm.
is a reality for so many people. So I had to learn the hard way, which is what I'm trying to help other people not have to go through, or at least not have to go through as much as I went through. Because I'm telling you, it didn't stop there. As a young woman, there I was again, had all the tools available to be successful financially, but I had a credit score that was probably like 490. My credit score was low. Had to use in-house financing, interest rate on my car like 20 something percent. Dealing with all of that, dealing with massive credit card debt, going to check cashing places. Like, I
Mm.
have experience being broke. There is such a condition as being so broke that you can't pay attention, because I've been there, where your mind is constantly going because you're trying to figure out if somebody calls your cell phone, is it going to be disconnected? Is the repo person driving around while you parked at the church, or did you remember to put your car in the garage? Like, there's such a condition as being so broke that you can't pay attention because you stressed out about these creditors and all this different
Mm.
debt that you're
Mhm.
in. And so what being broke taught me, the first lesson was that I didn't want to be broke, because being broke is hard work. People, when I start talking about the different ways that you can access wealth and the different ways to get out of debt, people be like, that's hard. That's hard. Being broke is hard. So I tell
Mm.
people, pick your hard. Which hard do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with the hard life of being broke and dealing with debt and bad credit? Or do you
Mhm.
want to deal with putting the work in to master your finances, so your
Yeah.
finances aren't telling you what to do?
Yeah. I think the latter, no, I think the former. The cutting back on your spending seems harder because it takes more discipline. It doesn't take a whole lot of discipline to spend your paycheck before you even get it. It's just gone. That don't
That's
take a
it.
whole lot of discipline. But to
No, it
rein that
yeah.
in
Mhm.
takes discipline. And sometimes people just don't want to exercise that discipline. Do you think that's true?
Oh, it's 100% true. That's
Mhm.
part of one of the lessons that I talk about, is intentional spending and being intentional about your money and being disciplined and
Mhm.
being honest with yourself. If you know that you don't have discipline, don't go into Target and Walmart with a shopping cart rolling up and down every single aisle when you know you're going to put stuff in your cart. Like, be real. Go in
Yeah.
the store, get what you need, and get out if you lack discipline. You have to be honest about where you are
Mhm.
mentally and emotionally with finances, in order for you to have any type of success in not being in debt or getting out of debt.
Yes. Oh, I like what you said about if you know you're not disciplined enough to go into a store and just walk the aisles and window shop. You know this about you. So don't do it that way. Write a list, go in there, get what's on your list and come out. But
Yes.
I think the problem is what you said, people are not honest about where they are in their finances. So they start coming up with ways to justify buying this zucchini twister thing that they know they don't need, but they but they find ways to justify buying it because it feels good to be able to buy it. Is that what it is?
Listen, it feels good, and you done told yourself a story that you are going to use this, and then it sits up in your
Yep.
cabinet for 2, 3 years, and you forget that it is there. And so, yes, you just got to be real. You have to be honest. I don't go in Costco.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go inside of Costco to shop. I pay the extra money to have it what is it, Instacarted to my
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
house, because
Yeah.
I know for sure if I go to Costco, I'm going to walk up and down every single aisle, and everything in every aisle is going to jump out, and I'm going to be like, "Oh, I can do this. I can do that. That looks good. This makes sense." And it's going to sit up in my pantry, and I'm going to have to throw it away. I remember during the pandemic, I had all these boxes of oatmeal that I had got from Costco that ended up expiring because I was just buying stuff. And so I now Instacart my stuff, and I do a lot of my shopping online for that reason. So I'm just getting what I need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back to my history of purchases, or I'm buying what I need to cook whatever it is that I need to cook. It's being
Mm-hmm.
honest with myself about the
Yes.
fact that I do go up and down every aisle.
I don't
Wealth
have Costco
strategists and all.
membership. I have not had a Costco membership in probably 15 years, but I was having this conversation with my brother the other day. He said he went to Costco to get paper towels and toilet paper and spent $400.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how do you what? He said, we just started grabbing stuff
It
and
makes
putting it
sense.
in
I
the
get
cart.
it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't go to Costco either. I don't have a Costco membership. I don't really want a Costco membership because it's just me. I don't need to buy in bulk like that. So when
Yes.
I get ready to start buying my meat, because I eat a meat-based diet, so I that's basically all I eat. I'm gonna give my brother money to go to Costco and get me some meat
Mhm.
in bulk. But other than that, I don't need anything in bulk. Now, Amazon is my kryptonite. It's just too easy. It's too easy, Jonte. I don't know. I don't know how to reel myself in with Amazon. I need your help. Help me. I don't know.
Yes. So what I will say about Amazon, I mean, because we all love Amazon and it's so easy,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Um, don't first of all, don't be in the bed scrolling through
Mm,
Amazon
too late.
or any shopping app, because that's
Mm,
typically where we end up buying stuff, is when we're like in the bed
mm,
trying to fall
mm,
asleep and we're just scrolling. So we're scrolling through Amazon and Shein. I keep a Shein cart. And it's usually when I'm real tired where I accidentally hit the button,
mm.
the purchase button, and buy it. But don't do it when you're like tired, and don't just aimlessly like shop online. Have a purpose and an intention for why you are shopping. Don't just scroll just to be scrolling.
Dang, you all in my business. Lord
I'm in my business.
Jesus.
I'm preaching to myself too.
All right. I want to talk about fierce.
Mm,
These 6 principles: family,
mhm.
innovation, excellence, results, compassion, empowerment.
Yes.
How do these values shape your coaching and your life insurance services? Because you're a life insurance agent as well, correct?
I am. I am a
Mhm,
licensed life insurance broker, and
mhm.
yes, and I say broker versus agent because I'm not tied
Okay.
to a company.
Okay.
I'm able to offer my clients resources based off of what they need. So yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So you're a life insurance broker.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now talk to us about fierce and talk to us about why today's life insurance is about more than
Yeah.
having money that you can leave to your family when you pass away. It's about more than that now.
Yes. So
Mhm.
fierce are my governing values for everything that I do, to include my business. And
Mhm.
so when I talk about being fierce, family, so all of my solutions, everything is going to be catered to family. We talk
Mhm.
about legacy, we talk about generational wealth. So the structure of the family, we're providing solutions for family. So that's from the youngest to the oldest. And, if we have time, I can talk about the importance of bringing youth into this as well.
Mhm.
Now, and I also added another F, so it's for fierce, because I added faith to it.
Okay.
Because definitely faith is the foundation of everything that I do,
Mhm.
whether it's explicit or not, because all of my clients are not believers or Christians, but
Mhm.
best believe they're getting the principles
Right.
of the kingdom,
Mhm.
whether they know it or not. So family, faith, innovation. So even as we talk about, you just mentioned life insurance. So I'm not
Mhm.
talking about old solutions or things that have always been.
Mhm.
I'm very innovative as it relates to the solutions that I provide to my clients, and I look at solutions that are customized and tailored to them. So it's not about this is how we've always done something,
Mhm.
but what's new? What's something that I can? And I'm just going to be honest because this is a Christian show.
Mhm.
Pulling on God to really, find these innovative solutions to be able to provide to my clients. Excellence, results. I'm very much providing service that is excellent. My clients know when you come to me, you're going to get quality.
Mhm.
I'm going to be on time. I'm going to deliver what I said I was going to deliver. I'm about delivering results, and then compassion and empowerment. I'll say this. I'm always putting myself in the shoes of my clients.
Mhm.
And I shared my story on here. I've been there. Any financial situation someone may be in, I've probably pretty much been there. So I'm coming from a place of compassion and empathy, and understanding. And then my goal is to empower you to achieve whatever goal it is that you have. So those are my values, fierce.
Mhm.
When it comes to life insurance, I am not a regular average life insurance professional. I
Mhm.
am a wealth strategist, and I teach people how to leverage life insurance as a strategy in
Mhm.
their financial goals
Mhm.
and wealth building as a whole. When people typically think about life insurance, they're thinking about when I die, this is a benefit that my family, my beneficiaries, will have access to. And that is 100% true. And that is a blessing. But I need people to come to the understanding that life insurance is for life.
Mhm.
And when I say it is for life, it is for your life. When you purchase life insurance, if you are working with a professional who knows how to properly structure your policy, you can leverage your policy now. My husband and I have cash value whole life insurance policies as well as index universal life insurance policies, and those are set up for us to leverage wealth now. You can utilize your life insurance policy to get out of debt. It
Mhm.
can be structured in a way, and not just me saying you can get out of debt using your life insurance policy. We can create a debt elimination roadmap for you that will show you what you're putting in the policy, how much cash value is building up in the policy. We take your debts with the interest rates and we tell you exactly what date you can pay that off on, and how that policy can continue to build to not only pay off your debt, but also now become a reservoir of money for retirement or for whatever it is that you need to use it for. You can utilize life insurance to build a college fund for your
Mm.
children. You
Mhm.
can use it for a down payment on a home. It just has to
Mm.
be structured in a
Mhm.
way, and you have to put the money in for it
Mhm.
to grow to be able to provide these tools to you. But it's not just about death. Yes, wonderful. We want to leave our children, we want to leave our grandchildren with an inheritance, but life insurance can play double and triple duty, because
Mm,
yes, while there's that death benefit that's there, there's also can be a significant amount of cash value that you
mhm.
can utilize to actually create and build more wealth. And there's a plethora of examples that I can give, how you can utilize life insurance to create wealth.
Okay, and you teach your clients how to do that.
I do. I do. I
Okay.
will walk them through from the beginning into the ending. But you know what, Sandy, I think one of the challenges is that a lot of times we're not open-minded. And I understand that some of it is systemic, especially when it comes to African Americans, Black Americans, because we have been deceived in instances, in its historical facts around life
Mhm,
insurance and even home
mhm,
ownership. There's so many different things where we've been scammed and people have given us misinformation, so we're not trusting. But this is my thing. We try everything else.
mhm.
We
Yeah.
we will spend our money, we will take the risk and spend our money on everything else. And so why not take the chance and spend your money and just try
Mhm,
to invest in yourself and in your financial future.
mhm. Yeah, I think there comes a point where we focus on how to survive in debt rather than focusing on how to thrive with no debt.
Oh yes.
It's like we become really good at surviving in debt
Mhm.
and switching that around. How difficult or easy is that? What would you say is the first step to switching that mindset? Because it's deeply enrooted in some people.
I love that you brought that up,
Mhm,
because what how I, say that is we've normalized being in debt. We've
mhm.
normalized it.
Yeah.
And so this is why people are okay with it, because we've normalized it. And it's just like, the analogy that we use sometimes in ministry, as ministers, when we talk about being free, that sometimes you can be bound for so long that
Mhm.
you don't know how to be free.
Right.
And I believe that that is a real issue when it comes to being in debt, because we've witnessed it all of our lives, that it's become normal to us. And
Yeah.
I think the first step is recognizing that it was never intended for us to be in debt. From
Mhm.
a biblical perspective, the Bible says to owe no man nothing
Mhm.
except
Mhm.
to love him. So we being in debt is completely out of alignment with
Mhm.
who we are, first of all.
Right.
Now there is a such thing as good debt, and I like to always put that out there, that all
Mhm.
debt is not bad. But again, from a historical standpoint, because that's the lifestyle that we've been accustomed to being exposed to, we find ourselves in debt. And
Mhm.
so here's some things, some very practical things to think about. First of
Mhm.
all, stop living beyond our means.
Okay.
We have to stop living beyond our means. We have to stop being caught up on what we see on social media and how we
Woo.
see other people living, and the perception that we see, and focus on our own finances and not live above our means. In fact, a rule of thumb is to live below your means. And you will find that most people who are wealthy for real, that's what they do. They don't get a promotion and start spending more money. Just because
Mhm.
you start making more money is not a
Mhm.
license for you to start spending more money. But again, because this is how we've been programmed, this is business as usual for us. But stop living above your means, live below your means as much as possible. When you get a pay raise, utilize that money to increase your payments if you are in debt, to get yourself out of debt. Utilize that extra money to get life insurance that's going to assist you. Use that money and put it in a high yield savings account, but start looking at money as a tool that can help you actually make money. Money is a tool. we need to understand that money is a tool. It's not the end all be all. It's simply a tool. It's a
Mhm.
tool. It's one means to an end, but it's not an end all be all.
I'm putting this in the chat.
And you gotta control me and manage me, because I will run off and go on and
No,
on
this
and
is
on.
good.
And I want to make sure I'm answering your questions.
Yes, you are.
So
You are.
am
That's
I.
good.
Okay. Okay.
That's good because I am a social worker for DSHS. And so I work with families in poverty
Mm.
who are receiving cash benefits through the
Okay.
state and food
Mhm.
benefits and trying to juggle this little bit of money every month
Yeah.
to keep a roof over their heads.
Mhm.
And I see this all the time, and my colleagues that are watching will tell you.
Yes.
Um, when we have parents who are receiving cash assistance, let's say a family of four, I think the cash grant for a family of four is like 707 or something a month. And so they'll be receiving this 707 a month. They usually have subsidized rent, so their rent is like $100,
Mhm.
$150. They're paying their light bill. It's not that much usually. Everybody's case is different, but I'm just speaking in general. But they've gotten into the routine of making this $700 stretch the way they need it to stretch. They already know that there's going to be more month than money left over every month. They already know that. They prepare for that. So they buy groceries in a way that helps them make the
Mhm.
food stretch because they know they're not going to get more money until the first. But
Mhm.
they have gotten it down to a science to make sure that they have enough money to get them to the first of the next month. So when you talk to them about going to work, it's scary
Mhm.
because they have come to rely on that money
Mhm.
depositing on that little debit card on the first of every month. And the thought of having to wait to get paid on the 15th or the 25th or whatever their pay cycle is, it can be scary for some people. And so they would rather risk um not getting into trouble, but going into sanction and having to deal with some other things because they're not looking for work like they're supposed to be looking for work.
Mhm. Mhm.
Or they'll say, I don't want to look for work. I want to be out on a medical exemption, even though they're capable of working. The thought of going to work to earn their money is scarier to them than waiting every month to get that $700 on the first of
Mhm.
every month. And I'm in a series right now on my other podcast. It's called Fridays by the Fire. And I'm in a 4-part series called When What's Familiar Feels Safer Than Freedom.
Mhm.
And I see that in my clients all the time.
Mhm.
That check, or it's not even a check anymore, it gets deposited on their what's called an EBT card. That money getting deposited on the first of every month is familiar.
Mhm.
To them, it's safer than having the freedom to choose what you want to do and nobody telling you this is what you have to be doing every month, and having a job of your own where you're going to make more money. You're going to double what you're getting from the state. That's a scary prospect for a lot of people. And I see it all the time. And so when we talk about poverty and we talk about debt and we talk about being conditioned to know how to survive in poverty, feeling more familiar and safer than launching out and educating yourself so that you can get a good job and have a career and have more money to then be able to build wealth. That sounds scary to some people. It sounds like it's just too much.
It does sound scary to some people. And so a
Yeah.
couple of things. And I always go back
Mhm.
to the Bible. And, I am a strong advocate and believer that people need to know the scripture, and the Bible like spells everything out to us if we're open and we're willing to come into the revelation of what the word is saying.
Mhm.
Jesus said that there would always be the poor among us, that we would always have
Mhm.
the poor among us.
Right.
And I believe that he said that because there is this recognition that the system is built on poverty. Like,
Mhm.
people who are wealthy, big businesses, all of this thrives on people being poor. The government
Right.
actually, I don't care what they say, they thrive on people being poor. This is why the various welfare systems are set up the way that they are set up, because it keeps people stuck in poverty. Because what you
Mhm.
just expressed is so real, because instead of a single mom being able to leverage getting EBT, getting cash
Mhm.
benefits, and leveraging it as a step up and being able to utilize those resources, get a job at the same
Mhm.
time, and
Mhm.
save up money to get herself on her feet. The minute that she makes any income, they're going to cut off her EBT. And so
Mhm.
the system is actually set up to keep
Mhm.
people in the system,
Yeah.
because in order for the economy to thrive from a larger perspective, there needs to be people in poverty. So that's like a real thing.
Mhm.
So what one of the things that I teach about is the importance of having a vision for your life. And
Mhm.
sometimes when I'm talking about wealth, people get frustrated because they want me to just hurry up and spit out five steps you need to get wealthy, and they want to be on their way. But
Mhm.
this deals with like mindset. I can tell you all day long to save money. I can tell you all day long what stocks to pick. But if your mind does not shift from a poverty mindset to a wealth mindset, you're going to keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And
Mhm.
so the first thing that must happen is people have to have a vision for their life. Like, what is it that you want? Have a financial wealth vision. If money was not a issue, this is what my life would be like. This is what I
Mm.
desire for my life, because then
Mhm.
we need to build a strategy and a roadmap to get you there. So for the person, even for the person that you just described, if their goal is to not be in that place, I don't want to have to rely on the government. I don't want to have to
Yeah.
rely on subsidized rent all of my life. I want this. Okay, then how do I empower you to get there? Let's come up with a strategy. Okay, you might not be able to earn regular income to achieve that goal, because if the government finds out,
Mhm.
it could be a trap for you. But what are some other ways that we can earn you some income under the table, or however it has to be done, so you
Mhm.
can start setting yourself up for your future? Is there a
Mhm.
side hustle that
Right.
you can do to
Mhm.
be able to make some extra income, whereas you can start saving money little by little, so you can get out of the situation that you're in and start
Mhm.
creating wealth? It's
Mhm.
not impossible. There is always a loophole to most things. There's a
Mhm.
loophole to it. What are you doing with your tax return? Most people who get a tax return, or you're letting someone else file your kids. However, I mean, this is real stuff that people do.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
you doing with the money when you get it?
Mhm.
Are you taking the money and putting it in a high interest bearing account so you can start building wealth? Are you using it to pay off some sort of debt? Or are you buying a new used car every year? Are
Mhm.
you, going on a shopping spree, buying a brand name purse that you don't need to have? So there's always a way when there's a will to do
Mhm.
it. But people
Mhm.
just have to have the mindset, and they have
Yeah.
to know. You have to know where you're going, and then you have to be very, very firm and set on being willing to have the discipline and put in the work to accomplish that.
Yeah. And not all of my clients, when I had a caseload, I work from home now, so I don't have a caseload anymore. But when I had a caseload, not everybody was trapped in that cycle of poverty. I had a young woman who
It's
was on my
awesome.
caseload for about 4 years. And she used those 4 years to go back to school. She became a certified surgical tech. She went to Clover Park Technical College right here in Lakewood and started working at St. Joseph Hospital as a surgical tech. And this was years ago.
Mhm.
Now she makes six figures as a surgical tech.
That's beautiful.
But like you said, she had a vision
Mhm.
of what life would look like for her and her children if she didn't have to rely on the government to feed and house and clothe them.
Yes.
And so she started writing down her goals. And every time she met one of her goals, she would check it off and go to the next thing. Check that off and go to the next thing. And she would bring her goal list in when she would come in to see me. And we would be looking at her goals together. And she'd have all these check marks. And then she'd have
I
some that
love it.
didn't have check marks. Yeah. And she worked towards that goal, got that certification, got a job at the hospital. She still works at St. Joseph Hospital. And this was
Mhm.
probably back in 2005, 2006. And her children are adults now, and she's making great money. She travels, she works at different hospitals all over the country now. So she's doing really well. So I have some who have a vision for their lives, but they're not exactly sure how to attain what it is that they want. And that's part of my job as a social worker, to help them create a roadmap for their life. But then I have some that are so conditioned
Yeah.
to and have a poverty mindset that it's really scary for them to even think about
Mhm.
not getting that money on the first of every month. And so it makes it more difficult for me to help them create that roadmap because they can't see it. And like you said, you got to be able to see yourself doing something different in your life that is moving you forward. And
Yes.
for some reason, it's really difficult. So I want to ask you, I want to switch gears a little bit. And I want to talk about something that you are going to be doing coming up pretty soon. And I talked about this a second ago, before the show. You are going to be, first of all, doing your Vacation Bible School
Yes.
um, activity.
Yes.
And I want to put this up for you. Kingdom Kids, building, creating, and stewarding for God's glory. So within your Vacation Bible School,
Mhm.
you are going to be teaching children between the ages of 6 and 13 how to start a business.
I am.
Talk to me
Yes.
about that.
So as I kind of glossed over it a little
Mhm,
bit earlier, but we don't have these conversations a lot with children. Like we didn't
mhm,
grow up, like I didn't know anything about business or finances growing
mhm,
up as a
mhm,
child. And I think it's important to start having these conversations with our children young because just like you just said, some people it's so difficult to help them shift their mindset because you've been taught, it's been
mhm,
ingrained in people to have a poverty mindset. So I so believe in as young as possible. I mean, just like with the word, right? It's like let's
mhm,
try as young as possible to begin to teach our children first of all, what God says about them, and who they are. And then from this perspective, how to build, how do you access wealth? We talk about it, and then our kids are so big now on social media at such young ages, and then just in school, you see different people have different things. Okay, you desire when you get older to be able to have something that's nice. How do you do that? Let me teach you how to leverage the gifts, the natural gifts that you have, and turn it into a tool for you to generate wealth. My daughter, I have an 18-year-old who just graduated high school, and she already is starting a fashion business. She knows how to design clothes. She knows how to source clothes from overseas.
mhm,
And so we're working on building out, her business. And so I want to teach other young kids, young people,
mhm.
that you can do this. Like it's not hard. You can own a business, you can start a business. And these are the principles and the tools that you use. So I'm going to talk to them about what they love to do. And I'm going to show them how they can take what they love to do and make
Mhm.
money from it.
I'm going to put this back up here
Yes.
because I want to make sure people know, if you have children between the ages of 6 and 13, or children within that age range, and You want them to not only be able to go to vacation Bible school, which is so fun. I used to do it when I was a kid. I absolutely loved it. But you
Yes.
also want to help them learn the principles of starting a business. This is
Yes.
how you can get them involved. There is a QR code right there on the screen if you want to register your children for this. I think it's a week long, isn't it?
It's a week, so it'll be from
Mhm.
that Monday, July 28th,
Mhm.
to the Friday, August the 1st. It'll be at the YMCA. So yes, we're gonna
Mhm.
be teaching them how to build a business, and they still gonna swim, they still gonna play, we still gonna do all of that,
Yes.
but we're also gonna learn how to build a business, how
Oh,
to
I
work in
love
the
that.
marketplace. Yes, yes,
I love that so much. Wow. That
yes.
is amazing. Now,
I'm
when
so
you
excited
are,
about it.
yes, that I was excited when I saw it. I was like, oh, we got to share this. People need to know their kids can go to this from 9 to 1 for a whole week.
Hmm.
That's amazing. So
Yes.
I wonder how much do you talk about monetizing your gifts when you're working with your clients?
Oh my goodness. Like
Mhm.
it's foundational. I talk about that all of the time. In fact, when I was just having the conversation at City Hall, we were talking about, or I was sharing with them how even just people who own like restaurants,
Mhm.
like, sometimes we're so focused on one way of making money, but it's
Mhm.
like if you're gifted at seasoning food, you done curated this special seasoning, why don't you package it and sell it? Like it's stuff that's simple when we talk about monetizing our gifts. Or if you are a phenomenal cook and you love to cook,
Yes.
like start you a catering company. And do you know
Mhm.
how many people don't want to cook? I mean, and so go beyond catering and become a personal chef. I don't feel like cooking no more. I would love to hire a personal chef,
Me
chef
too.
to cook for me and my husband.
Mhm.
Um, do laundry, like how many you can make a killing like doing laundry. There's so many different things that you can do if you sing, beyond just being a praise and worship leader. Like there's different spaces that you can utilize and monetize your gift. And I'm not talking about pimping the church with your gift
Right.
either. I'm talking
Right.
about you can legitimately the gifts that God has given to you, utilize them to create wealth. Because why do you think he gave them to you? He didn't give
Mhm.
them to you just for inside the church.
Mhm. Mhm.
He said to be fruitful and to multiply, to
Mhm.
replenish and to subdue and to dominate. Like he told us to do this. And we don't do that by being stagnant and not moving and doing things.
Mhm. Yeah, that was always my advice to the young people in my life. Take what you already do
Mhm.
really well and earn some kind of credential in that, and then go create a business
Yes.
or get into that industry, because when you do it that way, it doesn't feel like work.
Mhm.
It feels like you're getting paid to do what you love.
Mhm.
I had a young lady who was really good in math. She was in advanced math all throughout school, got all the way to trigonometry. And I was talking to her about, what she wanted to do after college. And she was like, well, I was thinking about going to horticulture. I said, ma'am, do you know you could be a whole tutor, tutoring people in math,
Yes.
making 75 to $100 an hour, tutoring
Mhm.
people, doing something that just comes naturally to you.
Yes.
And she never thought of that.
Yes.
So it's those little simple things that
Mhm.
can get you moving in the right direction. You can take what you're already good at. And if you want to go back to school and earn a credential in that, do it. It just adds to your credibility.
It
And
does.
then either start a business, start a side hustle, or go into that career field. And then that way, the work that you do won't feel like work. It'll feel like, hey, I get to get up every day and do what I love and get a paycheck.
It's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes
Yes.
purpose. And I know
Yes.
we have to wrap up. I told you I can talk all day.
I
I
can
have no
listen
when
to you
people
all
are like,
day. I love
Is an hour too long?" I'm like, "No, it's not too long." Um, But I want to say this. I mean,
Mhm.
even for the parent that has the child that talk all the time and is always getting in trouble in
Mhm.
class and telling jokes, like you can monetize that, like nurture that gift, because they
Mhm.
used to talk about me that I just talked all the time and I was super annoying and all the things, but I get paid to talk. you know you can get paid well to, you know what I'm saying, to talk, if you can hold an audience's attention. So it's the little things, it's not even the big grand, things that we consider gifts, but it's those things that come natural to us that God
Yes.
gives us, that we
Yes.
can really like monetize. We just have to perfect that thing.
Mhm.
I talked about excellence, like be good
Mhm.
at what you do and people will pay you.
Mhm.
I just dropped
Absolutely.
a bar.
You did. Be good at what you do and people will pay you.
Yes,
It's
that was
the
a bar.
truth. People are looking for people to help make their lives easier.
Yes.
Super busy people will pay you to simplify all
Yes.
the stuff that they have to do. I'm
Mhm,
telling you. And now with
mhm,
AI, it's even bigger now.
mhm.
So that is the 100% truth. You got to tap into what's in you already naturally.
Yes.
And like you said, begin to cultivate and nurture that.
Mhm.
And so would that be your advice for someone who's like say in middle school
Yes.
and going into high school or just entering middle school, because you're never too young to learn about
Yes.
finances and being responsible with your purpose. So would that
That
be your
is yes.
advice?
That's my advice. And,
Yeah.
while we're all, loving social media, TikTok, YouTube, all of this, get
Mhm.
on there and learn something, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of information on social media. Of course, you have to vet some of it, but
Mhm.
instead of just scrolling for entertainment, leverage these tools that are before you. There's so much free education that is available. The book of Proverbs is very clear to us, like wisdom will get you paid, like it really will. That's
Mhm.
knowledge, that's
Yeah.
having an understanding, that's being able to solve problems,
Mhm.
come up with
Mhm.
a solution to a problem,
Mhm. Mhm.
solve a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Solve a problem and don't be afraid of money.
Mm-mm.
Do you ever run into people that say, "Well, I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable." Do you hear
Yes.
people say that?
Yeah, yes, yes. Well, it's been so there's a couple of things. First of all, wealth has been
Mhm.
demonized. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And that's even in
Mhm.
the church. If you
Mhm.
desire wealth, all of a sudden you're greedy. That's
Mhm.
not true at all. And then some people, I think, again, because they really don't believe they can have it, I
Yeah.
think it's a narrative that they tell themselves because they really don't believe that they can have it. So I'm okay. I just want to be comfortable.
Mhm.
I don't need all of that. Maybe you don't need it,
Mhm.
but somebody else does.
Yeah.
My desire for wealth is so that I can sow and build the kingdom. It's not about me having a million and one cars. Like
Mhm.
it takes money to do things. The
Right.
world runs through currency, even if it's not
Yes.
paper money, it's currency. And
Mhm.
so having wealth gives you access, it gives you influence, it gives you the ability to
Mhm.
be able to make things happen. That's just the
Mhm.
reality.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that the fear uh comes from too, worrying about what other people are going to say.
Yes. And
We get
asking
stuck in
for
that too. And that too, people asking for money, which I'm not sure why that's an issue because no is a complete
it's a
sentence.
complete sentence.
It
That's
don't
what
even need a
that's what my
period.
wealth coach says, Lynn Richardson. She says no is a complete sentence. You don't need nothing
Exactly.
before it or after it, but a period.
Yeah, I think that we create blockages and just stuff that keeps us stuck because
Mhm.
we're in our head too much. We need somebody like you who understands what wealth building can do for a family, for a generation, for a community, to really break it down in a practical way that's easily applied, step by step by step by step by step, so you can walk people through the process of how to leave that poverty mindset behind and move into a mindset that says, I want whatever is mine by divine right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. What God says is for me.
Yes.
That's what I want. And if wealth is what God says is for you, it's okay to want that. You will never hear me say that I don't want to be wealthy because I would be lying. Because I know what opportunities and freedom and comfort comes from wealth. And like you said, it also gives the opportunity for me to sow into the lives of other people.
Yes.
So it's okay to want generational wealth for your family. As a matter of fact, it's important. Your children need you to get that in your head. You need to get it so you can teach them. Am I right?
You're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important for us to put ourselves in environments and atmospheres where this type of information is being shared, making sure that they're joining, your podcast, making
Hmm.
sure that you invest in a financial education. We do kingdom economics classes at our ministry. We're
Hmm.
about to have one again coming up in either August or September, where we dig into again what the word says, but
Hmm.
practically how do you make that happen? How do you
Yeah.
access wealth from a practical
Mhm.
perspective?
Yeah. It's knowledge applied that creates wisdom.
Yes.
But if you never apply all this stuff that you're learning, you're going to be spinning your wheels. You're going to be
Hmm.
chasing your tail. You're going to just be running in place. You got to apply what it is that you're learning to help you move forward. Now, I saw this quote on your page. I want to read it because you wholeheartedly co signed it. So I want to read it. It
Oh.
says child life insurance is an investment in your child's future insurability, a
Hmm.
vehicle for financial planning, and a means of establishing a strong
Yes.
foundation for life's milestones. Tell us what this means.
Yes, so I can give you a very personal example about future insurability.
Hmm.
So, first of all, with life insurance, there is a reality that your health uh, deals with your insurability. The life insurance company wants to make sure that you are not a risk
Hmm.
as it relates to your mortality. So the younger a person is, the better it is as it relates to insurability and premiums. So my son, my oldest son, was diagnosed with lymphoblastic leukemia, acute lymphoblastic leukemia when he was 8 years old. Well,
Mm.
thankfully, he was insured. My children were insured at very young ages, because he had that disease, his life insurance premiums will be higher. Even though he's only 24, they would
Hmm.
be higher than someone who was 24 who had not had any health issues,
Hmm.
because he would be considered at a higher risk. So his future insurability, it's secured because he already has a life insurance policy, so he doesn't have to worry about
Hmm.
trying to access life insurance. It's also important to get your children life insurance that's cash value. When I say that, that's properly structured. Um,
Hmm.
what I mentioned IULs earlier, cash value whole life insurance, because you are starting to create a fund for them,
Hmm.
cash that's compounding interest. You can like really create a $1 million baby. I think there's some song out there, I've never heard it, that talks about $1 million baby.
Hmm.
That was trending, but you really can have a $1 million baby by leveraging life insurance, by just simply getting a policy that's $50 a month on
Hmm.
your child, that's structured properly. So look, when they get out of college and they start their career and they're ready to buy a home, and the mortgage company says you need 20% down as a down payment, you go
Hmm.
to that cash value life insurance policy and you say, here you go, son, here you go, daughter, there's the down payment to your house. So now they're not like stressing out or going and getting into more debt to try to get that down payment. Or, here you go, son, daughter, instead of going into debt trying to have a fancy wedding, we already have this money that's available that we created through life insurance when you were a child. So I would encourage every parent, every grandparent, make the investment in your child, in your grandchild of life insurance. And it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be expensive at all. You are
Mhm.
securing their future.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So, if someone wants to reach out to you to talk to you about all the services that you can provide, can they go to jmichelle.com?
Yes, they can go to
Okay.
jmichelle.com
Mhm.
to get information about me. And then there also be a link to take them, for
Mhm.
information about my life insurance.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yes, go to my website, www.jmichelle.com, or you
Mhm.
can email me at Jonte, my first name, at
Mhm.
jmichelle.com.
Real quick, talk to us about Help University.
So, Help University is a university that I have created that teaches people about wealth. And so
Mhm.
you can access that in several different ways. So, for example, I have a investing one-on-one training that you can access. It's hosted online
Mhm.
that you can access. I have a what being broke taught me is there, and
Mhm.
there's going to be more classes that come out virtually, but then also the in-person sessions that I do are a part of Help University. So I've had several pastors bring me to their ministry to talk about wealth. I've gone to Green River College to teach the college students, created a whole program for them.
Mhm.
So that is Help University, helping everyone live prosperously, is the acronym HELP. And it is a curriculum that teaches people from the beginning all the way to the end on how to create wealth and financial freedom.
Awesome. I love it. Again, Jante's book is called What Being Broke Taught Me: 7 Lessons to Avoid Being Broke. This is
Listen,
her ebook. You can get this book at jmichelle.com. Just go to her website. All the links to all of her different services are on this website on your screen right here. I also, if you're watching on YouTube, I put the link to the book in the comments on YouTube if you want to grab that book. Pastor Marquise is not playing in this chat. Pastor Marquise, he is making me laugh. He said, "Help, Lord. Help the people, Lord. They need you, Lord."
listen, listen. If y'all go get that ebook, you gonna laugh and learn at the same time, because you gonna really hear about all. I did some dumb stuff.
Let me see what else he said in here. He said, borrow from their policy and still building cash value.
Yes,
Yes, Jonte can show you how to do that for your children.
I
And like you
can.
said, do start it when they're young, when they're little. It doesn't
Mhm.
cost a lot to
It
do it
doesn't.
that way.
It doesn't.
Wow, this has been so good, as I knew it would be, because I've been watching your videos myself. So if someone like me or my family and I, we're going to get together and host a financial planning workshop just for our family, can I
Mhm.
reach out to you to see if we can have you come in and
You
help us?
can. Yes, you
Okay.
can. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. And we ain't trying to get nothing for free. So yeah, we
Well, we
going
praise God.
amen. We gonna, whatever the fee is, we gonna pay it. But I just think that in this day and time, with so much going on in the world right now, banks going out of business,
Mhm.
which 20 years ago was unheard of. I think it's really important for families to start moving towards building generational wealth.
Yes.
And don't let that term scare you. It's not the big bad boogeyman. It basically means that you are building a foundation upon which you can build wealth for yourself and the generations that are coming after you. So
Mhm.
when you pass away, you don't have to do a GoFundMe. You don't have to sell chicken dinners and fried catfish so people can bury you. Come on, y'all. We got to do better. We got to do better than chicken and catfish dinners when somebody dies. There's just too much available now that we
Mhm.
can get our hands on through people like Jonte, who can show us how to properly structure a life insurance policy so that it puts on a hard hat and it's earning money while you're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need to be doing. That's what we need to be focusing on. And Jonte knows how to help you do that. This is what she does. She left a very lucrative job to do what she's doing right now. We didn't have time to talk about that tonight, but we're going to bring her back so we can hear that story.
Yes.
Because there are so many people right now that are tied to a cubicle when they really need to be out in the marketplace creating something for people that solves a problem, like you said. They don't know the steps to do it, but you've done it.
I
And
have
so
done
you
it.
can teach people how to do it. People don't understand why they need an LLC or what the importance of an LLC even is. I'm not even sure I know. So I'm going to bring you back to talk about that too.
Bring me
So,
back.
yeah.
I got a lot to say.
We have so much that we can learn from you because you have taken the steps that some of us are yet wanting to take, and there are lessons that you can teach. You have the wisdom now because you took the knowledge and you
Yes.
applied it, and that's how you have the wisdom now to teach other people to do what you are doing. You and Pastor Marquise are gifts to the kingdom. I'm so thankful to finally have met you. I can't wait to meet Pastor because he is cracking me up in
He
the
got a
chat.
lot to say too.
I'm gonna have to come visit your church one day.
Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you
Absolutely. Yes.
so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully, people walk away with something that they can use. Yes, Pastor said, to God be the glory. I'm coming to see y'all, Pastor Marquise. I'm coming. I love it. I love it. I love how you have made this a family endeavor. It's not just you, it's you, your husband, your children, your
Yes.
family. You're all on one accord. You're all in alignment with what the Bible says about abundant life. There is
Mhm.
nothing abundant about living out a cycle of poverty.
No, it's
That
not.
is not the abundant life God promised us. And it doesn't take um effort that you don't possess to get out of poverty. It does not. It takes
I
a made
agree.
up mind and a plan. Yeah,
That's
a
right.
made up mind and a plan and a Jonte
Yes.
who can help walk you through those steps. That's what you
And
need, a made up mind, a plan, and
yes,
Jonte Michelle.
you said it, Sandy, because
Mhm,
everything that we need to be successful, everything that we
mhm.
need to access wealth, we have it. We possess it. It's
Yeah,
in
you do.
us.
It's in
It just needs
us.
to be cultivated.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
God has already equipped us.
mhm,
I 100% believe that. We got to get out of this boogeyman scary stuff.
mhm.
That mentality has to go.
Has to
God
go.
said go possess the land.
Yes.
Ain't nobody scared when they're going to possess the land. They might be scared, but they're going to do it anyway. So we got to come out of that, and I think that the services you provide can help people come out of that mindset. So thank you for the work that you're doing in the kingdom to not
Yes.
only build the kingdom, but to build generational wealth.
You're so welcome. It's my honor. It's my purpose.
Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching. But before we go, I forgot to do this last week. I want to do it today. I want to thank my friend, Elder Timothy Miller. He walked up to me at church a couple weeks ago and he handed me this collector's edition Maya Angelou doll. And he said, when I see you doing your show, this is who you remind me of. And he handed me this. I thought that was so sweet.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna my grandbabies are already begging for it. They can have it. I'll leave it in the will. But for now, they ain't getting it. But I
Put
just
it in the
thought this was
wheel.
really thank you so much, Elder Tim Miller, for giving me this collector's edition. Oh, I love it. She got the head wrap on and everything. I love it. I love it. I love when people think of me and they don't have to, because that's the kind of person that I am. I love giving gifts. I'll just sneak up on you and hand you something. Ain't no fanfare. You ain't got to tell nobody. I ain't gonna tell nobody. I just like giving people gifts. So I thought that was such an awesome gift. Thank you, Elder Tim Miller. I appreciate you. And I appreciate all of you for joining us tonight for the Girl Talk Sunday podcast with wealth strategist Jonte Michelle Robinson. Y'all go check out her website. I'm going to put it up one more time because I want to make sure people know how to find you. You can go to jmichelle.com. Whatever service she provides that you need can be found on this website. So go and don't even tell yourself it's going to be too much money because you don't even know. Just
That's
book a
right.
consultation.
And the consultation is free.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, the time is going to go by anyway. So you may as well do something with it. Or you're going to wake up 5 years from now still needing life insurance. Well, you can go ahead and get it now and stop procrastinating. Don't let procrastination become your ministry. That's not a
Oh,
ministry.
I like that.
Yeah. That's a stronghold. That's not a
Mm-hmm.
ministry. Go on over there to jmichelle.com, book a consultation, and let her tell you what services she provides and how she can help you. Amen. Amen.
Man, it
Thank you
is
so
so.
much, everybody. I will see you. Ooh, when are we back? On the 18th. We'll be back on the 18th. So you'll be hearing more about what that show, who the guest will be for that show in the coming weeks. But until then, thank you for joining me tonight. Good night. God bless. Love y'all.